And welcome inside the Backstage Pass out there at KKTC 99.9 True Country in Taos, New Mexico, and Pueblo, Colorado, and HighTideCountry.net, and powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com, where all the shows are archived out there, presented by our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas and Bangtail Whiskey. My featured artist of the day, or new singles out. It's a Christmas mood we're into now, and I hope everybody has a great Christmas. But if you have a blue Christmas, this song will fit you. Nonetheless, here she is, Mia Brown on the Backstage Pass. Mia, how you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
It's been busy. I tell you what, trying to finish out the week and get to the weekend, and then of course, Christmas and all this stuff now. So a lot of moving parts, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely. I'm in my back garage right now. We're just taking a short break from rehearsal for two Christmas shows that we're doing on Friday and Saturday. So super excited about that.
Well, that's got to be fun too as well. And let's start right there with it because the holiday's just around the corner. No, I've not finished my Christmas shopping. I'm probably going to do it all online because of just that's the way the things are going down this type of age we're in. But this song came out last week on Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there. Blue Christmas, which is doing really good things for you right now. Talk to us about this and how excited you were to put a Christmas song out to your fans.
Yeah. So the idea originated from my wonderful producer, Mark's wife, Candy. She grew up next door to Graceland, and she went to school with Elvis's stepbrothers. And so she actually knew Elvis. And so when we were at dinner one night, Candy said, Mia, you got to do Blue Christmas. You got to do a cover of it. So Mark and I were like, all right, let's do it. And so we did. And it's honestly one of my all-time favorite Christmas songs as well. It's so much fun, and it's different than all of them because not everyone has a happy Christmas, and so people can relate to it too. But I love the groove, and it's just a lot of fun. We put a nice little like cute twist on it too, and it's more fun and upbeat than sad and bluesy, so to speak.
Yeah. It's a little bit upbeat, and it's fun. I like to have fun with songs that you guys enjoy, just having as much fun singing them as I do listening to them too as a fan. And let's talk about, kind of back up a little bit. I want to get to know you a little bit more as far as the passion for music and growing up. And was it country? Was it all genres? Who were you influenced by? And talk about just growing up around music. Was it always kind of like, this is going to be my career path?
Oh yeah, I always say that music chose me. Other than wanting to be a princess when I was 3 years old, I always knew I wanted to be a singer and a songwriter. It was all genres because my mom would listen to ABBA, and she would listen to the Rent CD, and then my dad would listen to Aerosmith and Janis Joplin. And so, they covered pretty much all the bases between the two of them. And I loved all of it. Aerosmith is one of my all-time favorite bands. And I also am obsessed with Amy Winehouse. She's amazing. I just love everything.
Well, it's good to have a little bit of that, little bit of that variety of music, because I always say variety is kind of the spice of life too. And was it kind of a radio station that may have done it for you in your hometown? Was it something like that where you're just kind of trying to find what songs to listen to? Were you streaming at the time and you came across an artist that kind of inspired you? Tell me about that story.
Yeah, so 95.5 WIFC is the main pop station in my hometown, and I listened to that religiously growing up. And then my dad too would just give me CDs that he thought I would like and listen to. And actually, I was talking about this with the band earlier for Christmas songs. I grew up on the Now Christmas CDs, and so anywhere from Paul McCartney to Brenda Lee to all of those songs that were on there, I just loved. And so I would say, well, and honestly, the Now CDs in general too, we just listened to. But 95.5 was always my go-to. I remember singing Stacy's Mom in my friend's backyard when I was 3 years old. Granted, I probably shouldn't be singing that song at 3, but it was on the radio and I loved it.
It was a big hit, no doubt. Stacey's mom was everywhere out there. Let's talk about your catalog of songs, because I got a chance to listen to some of them. We mentioned before the show, Colors came out. You had one called Summer, which came out there in 2020. So going from that first single release till now, and we'll talk about Back to My Boots here in a little bit too, which is the single before Blue Christmas. The catalog of songs, walk me through that and how challenging, I know it's challenging to write a song, come up with a tune, have an idea, maybe go to a co-write, but also putting out some music that I really enjoyed. And if it hooked on me as a music show host, it's got to hook on to a lot of fans out there.
Yeah. Oh gosh. From Colors, that was my debut single. I mean, it was all brand new to me. I wrote that with Nathan Walters, and that was my first real experience co-writing with someone. But it was awesome because he was able to guide me through how to write really from my heart, and kind of go through my style of writing, which is ever changing. But that song really it has hidden details about who I am, because the winter cold part talks about I'm from Wisconsin, so it's 30 degrees here right now, and it'll be 30 degrees or colder for many months to come. So, and blue is my favorite color, and it was my grandma's favorite color. And so just when you hear Vivid Shades of Blue, all about that, I just wanted to give little details about who I am in my introduction song. And then you go to Summer, and I wrote that 9 days after I got dumped. And yeah, not fun, but that was my first really vulnerable song that I wrote. I mean, that was pure from the heart, still in the stage where I wanted him back, and all I wanted was to go back to those good days, which it started in the summer. So I wanted to go back to summer, just take me back there. And so kind of going from that, being guided through writing from Colors to Summer, where it was completely on my own and I was just pouring my heart out. It was a huge jump from Colors to Summer, because Summer was me. I mean, when you listen to that song, it tells you exactly how I felt then during that time, that 9 days after the breakup. And then Let You Go is about mental health, and just wrote that about mental health awareness. And then you go to Back to My Boots. Oh gosh, is that a fun one? Mark Oliverius and Keith Burns, they nailed it with that song, and they wrote it for me. And that was one of the first songs I didn't write on. But I heard it and I was like, wow, this is a banger. It's a total dance song. It's awesome.
Yeah, that one came out back in early October there too, which is Back to My Boots there too. The writing is fantastic. It really connected with me too, and a lot of country music fans out there too. Tell you what, I know we're going to bring Mark in for the performance of Blue Christmas. I'll take a quick time out here. You guys can get set up and kind of get ready. Coming back here on the show with that performance here, more with Mia Brown. It is the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com, and of course out there too at KKTC 99.9 True Country in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Pueblo, Colorado. And, of course, our friends at HighTideCountry.net, presented by our friends at Honky Tonk Texas and Bangtail Whiskey. Coming back with a performance and more with Mia Brown on the show. Stay tuned. Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base, The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Hey, sorry, we're still
back
getting
here, you're
situated
good.
here.
Getting ready. Back here on the show, Mia Brown joining us here, presented by our friends over at honkytonktexas.us and, of course, Bangtail Whiskey. The holidays are here, bangtail.com, easyliquor.com, and also Total Wine and Specs and Live Oak in Nashville and everywhere now in Texas. The whiskey market has been invaded by the official whiskey of the Backstage Pass. My friend Brandon Bing over there at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out and make the holidays a little bit more sweeter out there, or whatever adjective you want to use there too, with Bangtail Whiskey. Trust me, it does work for a sore throat out there too as well. Mia Brown back here on the show. You can check us out tonight, 10 Mountain Time, for our shows out there, KKTC 99.9 True Country in Taos, New Mexico, and Pueblo, Colorado, and also at HighTideCountry.net. The singles Blue Christmas. Welcome in Mark to the show. Take it away. It's all yours.
All right. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear. You're not here with me, and when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Yeah, I'll have a blue, 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 blue Christmas. Yeah, have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
I love it. I could watch her sing and listen to her sing all day long. Mia Brown here on the Backstage Pass back here, presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey and Honky Tonk Texas. You're right, just a good feel for a song like that. Too. And commend Mark for playing well on that piano too, because I couldn't even hit one key and make it sound like that. So good stuff there
he
too.
kills it on the keys, I tell you.
He does, no doubt. He was telling us some stories there about when I told him I had some of the legends stopped by too. Mickey Gilley, before he had passed, I got to interview him and a few others too. And of course, the people that he's got a chance to kind of run into over his lifetime there in Nashville, which is pretty amazing the career he's had. And boy, he can, they say, tickle the ivory. Is that what they say with the keys?
Yep. Absolutely.
Or play some keys. Hey, speaking of that, I wanted to ask you, so much talent is out there right now. My goodness, I can't remember a time, maybe that 90s country era when it was so-and-so on the radio. It was you turn it on and you have Tracy Byrd and Mark Chestnut and George Jones and Conway Twitty and Garth Brooks and Tim McGraw. The names go on for that particular time. But even now, fast forward 30 years later and you start seeing these great people like Lainey Wilson, Lindsay L., Ashley McBride, Carly Pierce, Luke Combs. I mean, the names go on with the talent, and not just solo artists, but also bands and duets and things like that. Give me your overall kind of, I guess, philosophy of country music right now. And this is a very healthy industry, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have so many friends down in Nashville and even up in Wisconsin that are pursuing country music. And I mean, it's just as tough as any other genre right now to get into. I mean, it's country has blown up. I feel like for a little while it was kind of being suppressed and people are like, no, I'm not a country fan. But now everyone's like, I gotta admit, I love country. It just speaks to you. And it's part of who we are in the US, we talk about God's country basically, which I get it up here. I mean, it's gorgeous and, and it's just thriving right now, which makes it tough as an up and coming artist to break into it. But I mean, there's just it's a no quitting kind of thing. I feel like there's an extra strength that country artists have we're just like, we're going to do it. We're not going to give up. We're going to break into this. We're going to do whatever it takes. We're doing it. That's it.
You put it in a good way too. And once you commit to something, don't ever look back. Of course, it's easier said than done, basically, when it comes down to it. But I'm all in, like I said, not just, a toe in the water, put a foot or 2 feet in there, because that's like anything else. Once you go for it, you just go for it and take the gains with the losses and vice versa. But you look at that, I'm starting to see more and more collaborations now in the industry, because that's something you've seen on these award shows and some of these other competitions out there too, that really try to bring an artist to light. Have you done some in your career, some collaborations that you kind of feel that were there either through songwriting or maybe recording, or want to record with another vocalist out there that really enhances you more as an artist? Any thoughts about that?
Well, collaborating with Keith Burns from Trick Pony on Back to My Boots, that was probably the highlight of my career so far. I mean, he knows so many people in the industry, and he was just so fun to work with and a genius at what he does. His band won Artist of the Year 2001 for a reason. But honestly, I would love to collaborate with Hardy.
Yep.
His writing is fearless, I feel like. And he just is a genius songwriter in general. I'd just love to be in a room with him for 5 minutes even, just to see how his brain works. Because I just love to get any tips I can from him when it comes to songwriting. He has written most of Morgan Wallen's songs. And I mean, he wrote the song God's Country for Blake Shelton. I mean, he's done it all. And so if there's anyone that I'd love to collaborate with, it's him, because talk about a songwriting genius.
He is, no doubt too. And that's what you think about that too. It doesn't have to be just on your own artistry and putting out your own songs and full length albums. You can make a decent living being a hit songwriter too. And I've got a good one coming up here in a few weeks that Mark probably knows very well. A guy named Skip Ewing, who's done a lot of great songs in Nashville for a lot of great artists there too as well. So if you're a great songwriter and great at anything, somebody's going to find you out there. And I love it, because that's what tells me a story. Is the fact is, before it's even recorded or like pitched to an artist, it had to come from somewhere. And there's so many talented songwriters in Nashville. It's crazy.
I always wonder, I always say I don't just listen to music. I can never fall asleep listening to music, because I just pick it apart. Just as a musician, that's just what I do. I'm like, oh, I wonder what situation they wrote this song about, or like what story they heard from their friends that inspired this, or I wonder what the production was like behind the scenes. I wonder what they did in the studio with this part. And yeah, I'm a music nerd. That's how it is.
I'll tell you what, though, I've last 4 years of my show here become more of a music nerd, if you will, listening to all the great tracks and all the great music that's come my way with all the great artists that I've had here on the show. We'll take a quick time out for our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. Again, you're listening to the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys, podcast.com, also out there at hightidecountry.net and our friends at KKTC 99.9 True Country in Taos, New Mexico, and up into Colorado. You can check us out there at 10 Mountain Time weeknights there on the station for KKTC True Country. More with Mia Brown, final segment coming up. And you know what? We got Mark on standby. She might want to hear coming back from break here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight. A word from our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. Coming back more with Mia Brown. It is the Backstage Pass.
Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show, Mia Brown joining us here, the Backstage Pass. Again, KKTC 99.9 True Country, also the LMNOC, that acronym, the streaming app out there weeknights at 10. You can catch the shows out there too. And of course, hightidecountry.net, and always archived at the SportsGuysPodcast.com. We do a little bit of music, a little bit of sports, and have fun here on this entertainment side of things here on the Backstage Pass. Back here with Mia Brown here. Final segment again. Blue Christmas is the current single across all the digital platforms. Again, you heard it here as well on the show. I was going to ask you, Mia, too, as well. If Mark is around, would you like to play another one for us?
He is not. He is back in the house.
He's gone.
Yep, he's gone. He hightailed it back in the house with the rest of the band. We got a bar in there. I think that has something to do with it.
That has a little bit, yeah. When you got a bar and you got some delicate drinks, and you can actually put something on the table that everybody can try a little bit too. There's the bar can pull you back in. But hey, again, great job on Blue Christmas. Next time we have you back on, we'll plan for those songs. We'll keep Mark around to play some more keys out there too. Hey, I love to finish up a little segment I call rapid fire. So just a lot of fun out there. Sometimes it's not so rapid because these questions may take some thought, but we call it that nonetheless. And I want to have a little bit of fun with this. All right, Christmas traditions back home. If you have any, what are they?
Yes, my mom's side of the family gets together every Christmas Eve. She's the youngest of 7. So big family. I'm the youngest of all the cousins. Everyone comes home. We go to one of my aunt's house, and the coolest part of it, well, 2 parts of the coolest part, we process into the living room with the nativity and sing Silent Night together and with candles. And then all the adults do a beer and wine exchange. You don't know what's in each gift bag, but everyone picks a number, and then it's kind of like White Elephant, but with booze.
I like that. Hey, that's a good thing. We have to draw. One of the things I do is draw names out of the hat or whatever, and you know who you're going to, the Secret Santa almost thing is, or the person you're buying the gift for. You have no idea what to get them. When you draw their name, you're like, I got so-and-so. Then you have to match a store with their common interest, and you have to go shop either online or something. But it's a challenging, thing to kind of say the least. But at the same time, I welcome the challenge to go buy a gift. Of course, you always get the gift receipt. Kind of like you said, White Elephant or Secret Santa. When you draw a name, because you don't know if it's gonna fit. If you buy clothes or you buy an item they already have, you're like, just go return it and make sure the gift receipt is in there. But I tell you what, I for me, one of my favorite stores to go into, I always say that we're always on a budget for Christmas, but I love looking in, especially down here, is Kohl's. I love Kohl's just to go in and browse through it and love it, and sometimes you find things for you and other gifts for everybody. Thoughts on your favorite stores? Is Kohl's one of them?
Kohl's is 100% one of them. I am a proud member of the Kohl's card.
Guilty as charged right here. Yes, same here.
Yep, that and Target. I mean, I am definitely your basic white girl. I love Kohl's and I love Target.
I love that too. 2 great stores, no doubt about it. All right, favorite foods to eat, I guess, any time of the year, but especially the holidays. What are those?
Oh, mac and cheese is my all-time favorite. And then, oh gosh, holiday food. Turkey. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
turkey. I know some people don't like it, but I love it.
We had a Thanksgiving post that we had a fried turkey for the I guess for the first time with us, and it
Wow.
was fantastic. My brother-in-law cooked it, and then we had a roasted one too. So I loved turkey, and then you can make the turkey enchiladas. What people are like? What is that? I'm like, turkey enchiladas is pretty good. If you've never had them before, you
So
might want to
good. Yeah.
look up a recipe there with a nice little, nice gravy on top of it, a little bit of cheese. But turkey enchiladas come out pretty good. So I advise people that, we may have to, if you get to CRS and 24 and you're appearing there, may have to do some kind of my favorite food, your favorite food, bring it up there, taste test thing on the show.
Absolutely. Heck yeah, I'm down. I'm always down for taste tests.
I'll bring the whiskey. You bring some food. We'll have a good time up there
Sounds like a
too. No
plan.
doubt about that. Uh, this is kind of fun. I love doing this. When you stepped on stage for the first time, it could be anything. Your own song, a cover, a gospel song, whatever it is. Growing up in church. What was that first song that you ever sang live on stage at any age?
First song I sang live on stage. Oh, you know what? It was Edelweiss from The Sound of Music.
Are you see? And I forgot to mention, could it come from a play or something like that, or Broadway? Yes, it could. Any
Yeah.
music out there. I like that. That had to be fun and challenging at the same time.
Well, I was in the 4th grade.
Uh-huh.
And it was my grandma and grandpa's favorite song.
Okay.
And they're passed on, and my grandma was still alive then, but she came to that talent show, and so
Mhm.
I played it, and of course she started crying, and so did my mom. But I actually have an Edelweiss flower tattooed on my ankle too for them. But yeah, that was the whole reason I did it, and I've loved that song my whole life because of them.
And like I said, condolences to you too. I just think of family every day, and it's so important to keep those family members close and just honor their memory from some of their favorite things out there. All right, let's do this one. We'll finish with this one because I always love it. Favorite movies of all time, and then maybe the last show or shows that you got to binge watch.
Yes. Okay. So if you can see behind me, on this side here, I have, my dad has a Big Lebowski poster.
Okay. Yep.
That's my all-time favorite movie. I I love that movie. So the Big Lebowski, I totally got that from him. And the show that I'm currently binge watching is Grey's Anatomy. I've never watched it. I just started watching it a couple weeks ago, and I get what all the hype is about now.
That's one of my wife's favorite shows there too. And honestly, you can get into that one, stay into it, and definitely get lost in something like
It's
that.
still
too.
going. It's still going. I don't
That's
know
the
that I'll
crazy
be able
part
to
too. It's
watch.
still going. Yeah.
I don't know that I'll be able to watch the whole thing, but the last show I totally fully binge watched though was Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That is one of my all-time favorite shows.
I need to see that.
It's so funny.
I've not caught Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I've got to check that out. And if that's a streaming, one of those services, Netflix or one of those, I've got to log on to that.
Peacock. Yeah.
Okay, I got Peacock. All right.
Oh my
pretty
gosh,
much got
it's
everything.
hilarious.
Who doesn't have everything now when everything's gone to streaming of some kind, YouTube TV or whatever it is, or just Peacock Network or something like that. I tell you what, you and I could go on for another 30 minutes. I really could. I just know that we got a time out there too. Looking forward to having you back. Blue Christmas, the current single across all the digital platforms, just came out there November 29th, and of course check out all the other songs and give her a stream out there and a like on social media out there. All the songs we talked about today available for the downloads out there and digital streaming services. Thanks so much for doing it. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy holidays, and let's do it again in 2024.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
Mia Brown here on the Backstage Pass tomorrow. Great group called Gold Pine coming on too. Looking forward to chatting with them. And then on Friday, we just got word he just made his Grand Ole Opry debut. We're going to talk to him about it too. Walker Montgomery coming by here on the Backstage Pass Friday. And then over the next few weeks, some surprises coming in. Ashley Ray Scott, Mike Meyerson from the group Heartland. You remember Heartland? They had a big song back in the day. Was big for them too as well. And a whole lot more coming up here as we count down to the days for Christmas out there, 2023. And happy holidays to everybody out there listening on KKTC 99.9 True Country in Taos, New Mexico, the LMNOC streaming app, and of course out there at hightidecountry.net. We'll see you guys tomorrow with Gold Pine here on the show. Friday, Walker Montgomery, and a whole lot more from all of us here at the Backstage Pass. Happy holidays. We'll see you soon.